Well, Governor, thank you for your time. The polls all indicate that Barack Obama is on track to win next week. How confident are you at the moment? And what does this say about the major shift in the politics of this country that appear to be underway?
Well, first of all, you never count an election as over until it actually is over, and we have a lot of work to do still. A week is a long, long time in politics. To answer the second part of the question, you've actually just experienced a similar kind of election with the election of Prime Minister Rudd. After many years of kind of right-wing leadership, you now have more moderate, centrist to left leadership. And what the election of Barack Obama would mean would be a real change for America, a rejection of the Bush-McCain politics and an embracing of a more internationalist America. An America that would be more interested in cooperating with our allies instead of dictating to them. And I also do think that given Prime Minister Rudd's education level and extraordinary ability and connections with other important Asian countries, that I think he's going to like Senator Obama very much should Senator Obama win this election.
Would Kevin Rudd, therefore, given that affinity and deep knowledge that he has of China, be something of a conduit between Washington and Beijing?
I'm not going to speak for Senator Obama on his foreign policy, especially when he hasn't won yet. But I do think that they are of the same generation. They do both. They're both very well informed about the world around them, and I think that they're going to be this will be a natural partnership between them.
How does the Democratic Party, and particularly Barack Obama, from what you know, how does he see Australia and its role in the Asia Pacific?
Australia has been one of America's strongest allies for many, many years, and I think, frankly, that would continue no matter who was elected president. But I think what Australia has done is what I'm hoping that America will do a week from now, which is they have really made a big change. They had, an administration that had been there for a long, long time, lots of different kinds of problems under that administration, a very old-fashioned approach to things, and now you've got a new president who's of a new generation. There's a real change that went on in the election in Australia, and I think that's what you're seeing here is a real change to a new generation of leadership. They both really have quite a lot in common, but the foundation of the Australian-United States relationship is very, very strong, no matter who's in power, I think.
Getting back to the political landscape here, there's a real prospect the Democrats could not only hold the White House, but both houses of Congress as well, and that provides a rare opportunity for the party to achieve some of the reforms that the grassroots membership and its members have wanted to see for some time, like universal health care, for example. Do you think that opportunity should be seized, or should a more cautious middle ground approach be taken?
Look, our system is not like yours, but should we prevail in the presidential race in the Senate and the House, our system would be like yours, where you can actually get something done. Right now we have a small minority of Republicans in the Senate that are blocking any progress on health care or balancing the budget or getting out of Iraq or any of these things that the American people really want us to do. So even though the American people and Senator McCain is using this as an issue, don't turn it over the power to one party. Well, that's what you do routinely in a parliamentary democracy, and it works well because you are actually able to get the reforms that the electorate demands without allowing the obstructionists in the party that's just been turned out of power to continue to block reform. So, of course, we're going to use our majority to do the things we've told the American people that we would do. But we have to be very mindful that the Bush-McCain economics plan has caused us a huge deficit, and that has to be paid for at some point. So, of course, we're going to be somewhat cautious as well, but it's not going to be a political caution. It's going to be a caution based on the things that you have to do to have a strong middle class and to bring America into the 21st century and align ourselves with all the other industrialized democracies that in fact have universal health care.
So the only constraint would be a fiscal one. On more moral issues, I suppose, like stem cell research, you don't think there's a political case for treading carefully?
Well, the American people are very much in favor of stem cell research. It doesn't matter if you're pro-life or pro-choice. The vast majority of Americans believe that stem cell research saves human lives and should be used.
On climate change, the world, Australia, is looking to the United States to show leadership when it comes to developing a new global agreement on tackling global warming. How tough do you think an Obama administration should go when it comes to a short-term target to reduce emissions?
Well, I think we are very interested in sitting down at the negotiating table and re-upping, and this time being a signatory of Kyoto. But Kyoto is going to change a lot. Kyoto is going to have to include Brazil and China, that's in India, and that's going to be a much tougher negotiation. But I think you'll find a United States that's your friend and ally in this one, as opposed to being obstructionist, which we had under Bush.
But you don't think the current financial crisis should in any way put climate change on the back burner?
I don't think that's necessary. I think in the long run, as Senator Obama has pointed out many times, renewable energy jobs create a new economy. Could use a little of that right now. As you know, the world is in trouble. Our industrialized jobs are in trouble, and having a renewable energy source which would reduce the carbon footprint would be a great way of stimulating the economy. Senator Obama has pointed that many, many times. There's no reason that we can't both have a great economy and reduce our carbon footprint. It's something that seems to escape the Republicans.
Would Democrats like you like to see a target by 2020 as big as a 25% cut?
Well, I can't remember what Senator Obama's exact cut is, but I know he has proposed big cuts, but I wouldn't want to speak for that because I don't know the exact numbers.
Okay, well now as we just finally look at the final week of campaigning, clearly the target is on these battleground states in the eastern part of the country. Do you think he can win states like Ohio and Florida?
Yes, we're working very hard in these states. One of the big differences between Senator Obama and the Republicans is that the Republicans chose to be the president and the representatives of half the people, the half they agreed with. Senator Obama wants to be the president of all the people, including those who disagreed with him. So he's really trying to unify the country after 30 years of really bitter, anger-based politics. And I think that's commendable, and it's one of the reasons I support him. But it's also going to be very, very good for the country.
Governor Dean, thank you.
Thanks for having me on.